We're back. This time we're going to be taking a look at the Temporal Cold War Month 3 0-hour OP event. And first thing we're going to start off here is the OP resource. You get these resource cards as a participation prize just for showing up and participating in the tournament. And we'll get right in and take a look. This time around we have main power grid. And it costs a question mark SP because it matters on what ships are in your fleet. This card explains the rules for main power grid resource card and serves as a reference card to remind players of its effect. The resource costs 3 SP plus 2 SP for each hull value greater than 3. So every ship in your fleet that has a hull bigger than 3 is going to add an extra 2 points to this. Once per round, one of your ships may use one of the following abilities. 1. When attacking with your primary weapon, during the roll attack dice step, suffer 1 damage to your hull and disable all your remaining shields to roll plus 2 attack dice for that round. Or, when defending during the compare results step, cancel up to 2 of the attacking ship's attack dice, place an auxiliary power token beside your ship. Your ship cannot attack during the round you use this ability. Both are powerful effects, both have powerful negatives. The taking a damage and lowering your shields to get that bonus to attack dice is great if there's nobody in the fire arc that can shoot back at you and you have some way to repair that damage. The canceling 2 hits outright could possibly save your ship at the cost of not being able to attack that turn. If you can't attack anyway, then this is a great option. If you're about to blow up, definitely worth sacrificing your attack to save your ship for another turn if there's something you can do on that follow-up turn. Definitely a useful one in the correct situations. Not one of the better resources we've had, but they've definitely been toning down the power of these as the old ones that were really powerful start cycling out to make them a little bit more balanced. So the scenario for this month's event was kind of an interesting one. The objective token in the center of the battlefield represents a cloaked sphere that's on its way towards Earth to destroy it. The players have to try to take it out. It counts as a ship for the purposes of the game with an attack value of 2, 0 agility, 8 hull, 8 shield. It'll attack every turn all ships that are within range 1. Anybody attempting to shoot at it must have a scan token beside their ship or it gains plus 4 defense. The entire map for this one is considered an anomaly. And every turn during the anomaly, there's a whole bunch of rules that apply. First off, each turn during the planning phase, every ship on the board, they have to discard a crewman, a captain, or they suffer 1 hull damage. Any ship attempting to use a scan action, which is required if you really want to shoot at the objective and not give it that extra defense bonus, if you use a scan action, you also gain an auxiliary power token. Target locks can only be used to fire secondary weapons. You can't use them to reroll dice, which kind of hurts some factions more than others. When you attack at range 1 with your primary weapon, you don't gain the extra attack die for being at close range. When you attack at range 2 with your primary weapon, the defending target actually gains plus 1 dice as if you were attacking at range 3. Basically all the bonuses are shifted down 1. And when attacking at range 3 with your primary weapon, the defending target actually rolls plus 2 dice. And on top of that, when you attempt to attack the objective sphere there, unless you have a scan token beside your ship, you're actually going to be rolling 1 less attack dice on top of everything else. Now on top of everything else, being in the anomaly here alone is actually lethal to your ship and your crew. To represent that, you're going to have 8 mission tokens set off to the side of the battlefield. And during the end phase of each round, you're going to take one of these tokens away. And you basically have 8 round timer at that point. When these are all gone, all remaining ships on the battlefield are considered destroyed and their crew lost. If the spear token is destroyed, meaning that you took all 8 of its hull, which first you got to get by all 8 shields, then the entire anomaly goes away and space returns to normal. You no longer remove counters from the pile and none of the detrimental effects take place for the rest of the game. Basically returns to normal. The game goes until one player's fleet is completely wiped out, time runs out, or that 8th token is removed from the pool and everybody dies. At the end of the battle, if somebody destroyed the spear, the person who got the final damaging shot on it that actually destroys it gets plus 25 fleet points. And then you figure out who's the winner from there. It's another very interesting mission. Found that having all the different detrimental effects actually printed out on a little card and set to the side is very helpful, because there's a lot to remember and keep track of for this event. So if you are going to one of those, it's well worth finding a list of these online, printing them out, bringing it with you just to keep it as a reminder of everything you need to keep track of. Definitely like the cool different scenarios they came up with though, and it's always fun to have something a little bit different to try. If you manage to win this month's OP event, you're going to take home the Xindis. It's a reptilian warship. It's a really cool model. I'm going to do a standalone video for that, so if you're interested in that, check that one out. If you manage to come in first place after all 3 events in the Temporal Cold War, you're going to be taking home a Cold War card pack here. This actually comes with one more sheet of little tokens, which I don't have. It's a captain token for Vosk, a reminder token for one of the cards, as well as a couple time tokens. Other than that though, everything else is here, and we're going to take a look. First thing we have is Captain Vosk. Captain skill is 7, 1 elite talent for 4 points. He's Mirror Universe faction. Vosk does not pay a penalty when fielding a elite talent upgrade. Once per game, when an opposing upgrade causes one of your upgrades to be discarded, you may place 3 time tokens on that card instead. Basically causes them to be disabled for several turns instead of discarded, but a really cool ability, especially with a lot of people out there running upgrade killing combos nowadays. For elite talents, we have the Benefactor. 5 points, again Mirror Universe. At the start of the game, place 3 mission tokens on this card. When you're required to place time tokens on one of your upgrades, you may discard any number of mission tokens from this card to place 1 less time token for each mission token discarded. When there are no more mission tokens on this card, discard it. 5 points for the ability to reduce some of your time token mechanic things like torpedoes and whatnot by up to 3. You can use it one at a time and bring those shorter delayed things back online quicker. You can use multiple ones at once. You can use this in combination with our captain here to bring back whatever kind of upgrade was trying to be discarded and had the tokens placed on it instead, to bring them back online pretty much instantly. Kind of an interesting one. For crew upgrades, we have Daniels, 5 points. When an opposing ship is required to place a time token on one of its upgrades, you may discard this card to force that ship to place 1 additional time token on an upgrade. Or during the combat phase, you may discard this card to choose any number of your dice to re-roll them. It basically forces opponents to take an extra turn to recharge any of their upgrades that use time tokens. Or you can get that extra re-roll. Kind of nice that you have an option there. 5 points to discard for either of them seems a bit steep. There's other ways to get rerolls which are much cheaper. There's no other way to add extra time tokens to something, but at the same time just seems a little steep cost for what he does. Next we have the Temporal Observatory for 6 points. It's a question mark upgrade. This can be used as a crew, tech, or weapon upgrade slot. As an action, place 3 time tokens on this card during the planning phase. After all ships have chosen their maneuvers, you may peek at a number of opposing ships' maneuver dials equal to the number of time tokens on this card. You may then change your maneuver and discard this card after the last time token is removed. Interesting. It's a very pricey upgrade, but at the same time, if I'm reading it right, you're using your action to put 3 time tokens on there. And then you may peek at a number of ships equal to the up to the tokens on there. So if you use the action, put 3 on there, and then only look at 2, then next turn you could use that action again, place 3 more, you'll have 4 on there, and so on. As long as you don't remove that last token, you don't have to discard this, and you can keep using it, which makes it very interesting. It's very nice to know what your opponents have. The 6 points for it, is kind of steep, but for the ability to keep reusing it, it does cost you your action too, though, so you have to keep that in mind, but definitely has its uses. For tech upgrade, we have a Temporal Conduit, 5 points. Discard this card to redeploy one of your previously discarded upgrade cards with a cost of 4 points or less to your ship. Place 3 time tokens on that upgrade. This upgrade costs 5 extra points for any non-mirror universe ship. It's kind of an interesting one. Definitely the last line limits it. You're going to be paying 11 points for this on a non-mirror universe ship. But on any of the mirror universe ships, the 5 points for the ability to redeploy a upgrade that was discarded for some reason back to your ship. Does cost you an action as well. It's kind of a trade-off, but definitely lots of upgrades out there that this might be worth using on. First thing that comes to mind are one-shot torpedoes that discard after use. Being able to bring them back with this is definitely a interesting option. Next we have an additional rules card, this time for the Mirror Universe faction. I've had these for a while now. It explains how the Mirror Universe icon on your upgrades, where you can have 2 of the same named guy depending on which universe they're from, even though they have unique icons. Always interesting. Then we have another additional rules card. This one deals with time tokens and continuous token effects. We've had these since the time token mechanic was introduced. And that's pretty much it for the prize pack for the month 3 of the Temporal Cold War. There's a couple more OPs coming up here very shortly, so we'll be doing more videos on those as well as other releases as they come out. Hopefully we'll see you again in the next video.